Attention passionate New York Giants fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on New York Giants' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true New York Giants fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and New York Giants fans. Let's get to the news, all right. Folks, hold on tight because what I'm about to tell you could be a real game changer for the Giants and the entire NFC East. Rumors are swirling around that the Indianapolis Colts might be about to make a bold move, one that could reshape the division's landscape and give the Giants a serious boost along the way. It's all about Quenton Nelson, the star guard from the Colts, potentially heading to New York. Yes, you heard that right. The Giants could be on the verge of landing one of the best interior linemen in the league, and if it happens, it could be a massive turning point for this team. Now, let's rewind a bit and set the stage. The Colts are sitting at an 8-4 record, a solid spot in the AFC, but what's catching everyone's attention is their cap space. Around $32 million available for 2026. That's a lot of room to maneuver, and reports from insider Rossini suggest that Indianapolis is open to trading away some of their key pieces to bolster their future. And Quenton Nelson, a dominant interior offensive lineman, is apparently on the block. The Colts are reportedly willing to trade Nelson in exchange for a first-round pick and a third-round pick in the 2026 draft. That's a serious haul, but it's not just about the picks. It's about what Nelson brings to the table. For the Giants, this is big news because Nelson isn't just any guard. This guy is a beast, a true mauler in the trenches. He's only 29 years old, but he's already established himself as one of the top guards in the NFL with a career PFF grade averaging 92.5. That's elite, especially considering his 2025 grade of 88.7, which puts him firmly in the top 3 at his position. Nelson has been a wall against pass rushers, allowing 0 sacks in 12 games so far this season. That's incredible protection, especially for a team that's been struggling to keep the quarterback safe. His pass blocking grade is a solid 76.3, and he's also a dominant run blocker, evidenced by his 91.2 grade versus the Texans, where he played 35 snaps and was pristine in his blocking. It's worth noting that Nelson's performance wasn't entirely perfect this season. An ankle injury in Week 10 temporarily limited him, but he's bounced back strong, earning a +1.8 grade in recent matchups against veteran defenders. His consistency and ability to negate pressure are what make him so valuable. For example, he's superior to players like Thomas in terms of negated pressures per snap, and comparisons to guys like Thuney show that Nelson is among the best in the league at preventing sacks and pressures. Now, why is Indianapolis making Nelson available for trade? Well, the Colts are in a bit of a rebuild phase after some injury setbacks with their quarterback, and they're prioritizing other positions, especially on the defensive line. They're also looking to free up cap space to accommodate other moves, notably to re-sign Pittman, who's commanding about $25 million. The Colts seem to be focusing on a more balanced rebuild, emphasizing depth on the defensive line over the interior of the offensive line. This makes Nelson available, and the Giants, with their own issues along the offensive line, having allowed 45 sacks and facing a 30% pressure rate, are likely weighing this as a huge opportunity. Let's talk about the Giants' offensive line right now. It's been a roller coaster. Daniel Jones has faced relentless pressure, with his QBR dropping to 45.2 under duress. The team has struggled to establish a consistent running game, averaging just 95 rushing yards per game, which is far below potential. Improving the protection and run blocking could elevate the offense significantly, and bringing in someone like Nelson could be the spark they need. Not only would he immediately upgrade the interior, but he'd also serve as a cornerstone around which the line could rebuild. Imagine Jones operating in a much cleaner pocket. His stats could improve dramatically, and the running game could see a boost of around 30 yards per game, pushing toward 125 yards per contest. This would open up play-action opportunities, making life easier for the young quarterback and creating more scoring chances. Furthermore, the potential addition of Nelson would send a message across the league that the Giants are serious about competing now and building a dominant, physical team that can punch teams in the mouth. It's reminiscent of the Patriots' approach in the early 2010s, when they used players like Mankins to create a powerhouse offensive line that set the tone for their entire offense. If Nelson joins the Giants, it's like planting the seeds of that kind of dominance. The team's offensive line would become a fortress, not just a group of individual talent, but a cohesive unit that can impose its will on opponents. And let's not forget the bigger picture. These moves aren't just about fixing the line temporarily. They're about setting the stage for a sustained winning culture. With Daniel Jones still developing, having a top-tier guard like Nelson protecting him is crucial. It gives Jones more confidence, reduces turnovers caused by pressure, and makes the entire offense more unpredictable. The Giants could then focus on expanding their offensive repertoire, adding more play-action passes, bootlegs, and even more creative schemes that take advantage of their improved line. From a division perspective, this potential move could have ripple effects. The Eagles, who are currently boasting a ferocious pass rush with 35 sacks, would face an even tougher challenge trying to get past a Giants line anchored by Nelson. It would elevate the Giants' front and make them more formidable on defense too, as they'd be less vulnerable to blitzes and pressure. The NFC East is already one of the most competitive divisions in football, but if the Giants can upgrade their offensive line with Nelson, it could tilt the balance of power. The odds to win the Super Bowl are already climbing from +30, 0 earlier this season to +12, 0, and a division title can go from +1, 0 to +400 if they make a splash like this. Of course, the Colts aren't just giving Nelson away for nothing. They're banking on the fact that a first-round pick plus a third-rounder in 2026 will be enough to land the kind of talent they need to keep rebuilding. They're also betting that Nelson's presence will be worth the investment, especially if they can find other pieces to complement their roster. For the Giants, acquiring Nelson would be a statement, an indication they're all in for a playoff push, for a deep run, and for finally establishing themselves as a true contender once again. Now, imagine a line with Evan Neal, Andrew Thomas, and Quentin Nelson all working together. That'd be a nightmare for defenses. It'd give Daniel Jones the time he needs to make decisions, and it'd open up running lanes for Saquon Barkley or even a new running back the Giants might add in the offseason. It's about creating a balanced attack, making the defense respect both the pass and the run, and ultimately controlling the tempo of games. That's how you build a winning team, and Nelson could be the key piece that unlocks that potential. Looking ahead, the Giants are at a crossroads. They've already shown flashes of greatness this season, and with a few strategic moves, they could elevate their entire squad. Bringing in Nelson would not only solidify their line, but also send a message to the rest of the league that the Giants are serious about contending, about dominating the NFC East, and about making a real run in the playoffs. It's a bold move, but if it happens, it could redefine the franchise for years to come. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest New York Giants news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, New York Giants fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you believe we're about to see Nelson in blue and red? Would that be enough to push us over the top? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Giants. Remember, we're all in this together, and I'll be back soon with even more updates, so stay tuned for the latest New York Giants news. Let's go Big Blue.